Bonjour and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another wardrobe updates video. We are quickly transitioning into fall and that is my favorite season, so I'm quite happy about it and feel like I have added a couple of really good pieces to get me started into this new season. So without further ado, let's just jump right into the pieces that I have added. The first thing that I have added is a Everlane cashmere crew neck sweater. Now I am a huge cashmere nerd, of course, for fall and winter. A fitted cashmere crew neck sweater is something I wore a lot, basically constantly, all last season, and unfortunately the black one I had that I would wear religiously, I lost that at a party in Copenhagen. And that one and the other fitted cashmere sweaters I have had are all from Uniqlo, and while I've been pretty pleased with them, I definitely also knew that quality-wise it was sort of like the low end of things, even though I feel like it was a good starting point, and had I not lost that sweater I would have also kept wearing it. I was just still ready to try something else, but without throwing so much more money after it. And I had actually been reading like Uniqlo versus Everlane and versus a few other like something like J. Crew, but that we don't really have here in Europe. Been reading reviews like that, and Everlane just seemed to come out on top on most of these reviews. Browsing Everlane, I came across the oatmeal version of the crew neck, and luckily for me it was on sale. There was like one left in my size. I choose an S because I like it fitted, and received that and been wearing it 8 times since then. I'm really pleased with it so far. I mean, it is still not like a high-end piece, so it is pilling, especially where there is friction, but it hasn't really been that much, and aside from it having been pilling, it really hasn't gone fussy yet. I mean, it is still rather new, but I think my biggest issue with the black Uniqlo one and also the pink one I had from Uniqlo, and now I have a charcoal one that I bought last season, it is that they get kind of fussy kind of quickly, where I feel like with the Everlane that's not really the case. The Everlane is also a little bit thinner, which I really like. So yeah, I'm really happy that I snatched that up, since it's something proof of concept wise that I know that I definitely am going to get around to wearing. And while we are in this oatmeal colored theme of the video, I guess that's what it is now, I also added a 100% wool jacket from Swiss brand Collective Mon Amour. I had been thinking about adding a more relaxed jacket to like sort of like my early fall spring section of my wardrobe, because so far I only have like the navy blazer of things that I want to wear, and while it's really nice, I felt like I wanted something more casual. And when I go through my pragmatic board on Pinterest, which is the board I have where I'm really meticulous about what I add to it, one of the things that like go again and again is this sort of jacket. I'm not even really sure what to call it, but they are quite trendy and in now, and it's definitely like a trend that I enjoy. In general, I'm really not into cropped jackets, and I feel like this jacket is just exactly cutting as like the shortest that I can enjoy on a jacket, so quite happy with it. I feel like I wanted to mention something about this trend, which is that since it is a trend, it is something that definitely pops up a lot in the fast fashion stores like Mango, H&M and Zara, and I feel like now that a lot of people are wearing it, since it's a trend or this type of jacket, it's quite easy to see on people when they are wearing like an ill-constructed piece. A jacket like this, I think the reason I'm really happy that I found the one that I did is that it is just a shell and it is 100% wool, so it falls really beautifully in its entirety, where if you have something like this that is poorly constructed, and especially if it's constructed from polyester, your jacket will start to make these like folds and creases where it's not supposed to. Of course, I'm only here to preach what I believe in. I'm not here to get after anyone else with what they're how they're spending their money and how they're shopping, but I feel like it's really a shame to go for these fast fashion and ill-constructed pieces, especially in stuff like jackets, because a jacket will just, it's going to be like the shell of your outfit, it's going to be like the shell of your look, and it's going to take up so much percentage of what is your look. And if the jacket you're wearing is creasing in all the wrong places and it's just giving away that it's an ill-made piece, it's very hard to look put together regardless of what else you add on top of that outfit. Yeah, that had nothing to do with the jacket that I added, but just felt like I wanted to add that point anyway, because it's something that I've really been noticing and thinking about when I've been like watching people on the street and what they're wearing at the moment. I've been really into this color lately. There's a few colors in my wardrobe that it pairs really well with. I'm really into this color in combination with navy, but I'm also starting to realize now that I'm expanding on my wardrobe that we're starting to get into this territory where there are pieces that go less well together. For example, the other day I was wearing like my oatmeal Everlane sweater. I was just gonna go do groceries, so it's not like it mattered, but I was wearing my charcoal coat on top of it, and while it's not hideous, it's funny to now see that there are pieces in my wardrobe that when I throw them together, it doesn't work as well. Like in this case, a navy coat or my navy blazer would have been really pretty on top of the oat sweater, and a black sweater would have been more fittingly for the charcoal coat. This is an observation I'm making. There's nothing wrong in that. What I added to my wardrobe next are black dress pants. They have a little bit of a flare in the bottom, and I am so excited about having found these pants. I think literally since I started looking last year, I have probably tried, bought, returned maybe 10 pairs, if not more. And still, that's a good thing. I mean, I returned so many pairs because I was really waiting for something perfect to come around. A pair of black dress pants is something that is really important to my wardrobe, but the only pair I had going into this whole reformed wardrobe that I'm in right now was this pair from H&M that I bought a couple of years ago when I was buying fast fashion, and after literally 8 times of wear, they were so ugly, like the threads were pulling apart and the fabric was starting to pill. It was just really a bad piece, so I had to put them into storage for emergency dress pants situation to make sure I didn't get them uglier while I was looking for something else, and looking I have been. Ended up with these ones from Danish brand M by M. They are polyester, which I'm not super delighted about, but outside of that, they are really comfortable. The construction is really nice. You can definitely pull at the seams and nothing happened, so it's a perfect fit. I'm really pleased with them, but the next time I'm adding pants like these, I'm definitely going to go for something in wool, and I was originally, but in the end, these are just this is just the pair that ended out working for me, and really happy to have dress pants back in my wardrobe. I am definitely a jeans person, but jeans were the only types of pants I had for a really, really long time, all last season as well, so this helps. It's also kind of nice finally to get over this hurdle when I get really aware of what is going to be or is a key piece in my wardrobe. Like with the navy blazer, I decide on not getting anything or I decide on looking for perfection. I mean, that journey is long. You can't just buy the first thing you find when you walk into like a fast fashion store or like a brand store. Okay, like you can't just buy the first thing you run into because it resembles what you like. If it's not perfect, you are likely to buy the exact same item again once you find a better version of it, and it's gonna waste your money, it's gonna waste, yeah, resources, so much other stuff. So looking for perfection can be fun, but it can take a long time. So between finally having the navy blazer and now these dress pants, there's just like such a that helped. The next thing I added is a top from Reformation. I already have a couple of tops from Reformation, and I have been just like extremely delighted with the quality and the construction as well, and they're just such beautiful pieces. They hold up perfectly after wash as well. Not that I wasn't expecting to, but I'm just throwing that in there because the tops that I have so far can seem almost like delicate in their construction, but they definitely aren't. So I added this top with a deep v-neck, slightly off the shoulder-ish look, and it's definitely a type of look that I have been attracted to like forever. But a piece like this is really hard to find, especially a piece like this that works, where you don't have to like tug it, pull it up all the time. And I mean, you do have to pull a little bit. It's really hard to get around doing that with a piece like this, but it's minimal unless you go dancing, which is what I did, which is why I had to pull all the time. But really happy with it. I did pay 85 francs for it, which for a top like this, I mean, this is definitely something you could find cheaper fast fashion, but then it's probably also not going to hold its shape as well. But I mean, this top is in it for the long run for me. But a point I wanted to make is that I don't think that this is going to be a everyday piece, regardless of how much I like it, just because it is a bit impractical compared to just like a regular long-sleeved shirt. So this is not something where I will be able to drive the cost per wear down super quickly, or maybe even that much. I mean, obviously over the years, which I'm hoping it's going to be something I want to wear that long, it might help a bit. But there are just some pieces where, like for example, when you buy a winter coat, if you live in a wintry place, that is just going to go down in cost per wear so quickly because you are just going to wear it so much. But other pieces, they might be way less expensive up front, like a fraction of the price of like my winter coat, for example, but it's not a piece that I'm going to wear like weekly or maybe even bi-weekly, so it's going to take longer. But I'll keep you in the loop of how that goes. Really pleased with it. I posted on my Instagram and got multiple requests for the link, so it's definitely an eye catcher. Really pretty, beautiful piece, and just looks really nice with my new dress pants as well. Then the next thing I added is also a really good proof of like assessing what you like in different ways and then adding it, and it is these pointy-toed contemporary looking ballerinas from Aeyde. They are extremely comfortable. Like the leather is buttery soft and the sole in the shoe is really comfortable. These are really brand new, so I haven't worn them more than just like one day, so I'm probably gonna have to give a little bit of an update on that later. But wow, like they are so beautiful. So my whole point about assessing what you like is that on my Pinterest board, the pragmatic one, where I only add things that almost go perfectly well in with my aesthetic, like it has to be beyond inspiration, it has to be like something that just really falls into my personal style. And when I went through why I liked a lot of the items or a lot of the outfits that I had on there, I was realizing that it often came down to a pointy-toed black shoe of some sort, whether it be like a kitten heel or a slingback. I decided in the end to like look for a ballerina in this type of shoe because I'm expecting to wear it way more than I would, for example, a slingback. So that was like a practical choice. But outside of like assessing what I like from like my inspiration, I also have the black pointy boots that I literally wear all the time. So if they are comfortable outside of that, I'm expecting to get a lot of wear out of these, and I'm just like so pleased with them. Actually, I already have a pair of shoes from Aeyde. It's a pair of sandals, and after only like 10 times of wear, one of the soles came loose, and I really was not quite happy about that because I have worn them so little and their shoes are quite expensive. So I contacted Aeyde about it, and they were just like literally like so nice about it. They literally sent me a voucher for the exact amount of the sandals that I had bought, and then said you can either buy the sandals again, like here's a voucher for the exact amount, or you can take them to the cobbler, and if he's able to like fully repair them, then you can spend that voucher on like whatever you like. And just phenomenal customer service. And you also know when customer service is that phenomenal, they just like have full trust in their product. It's probably not an issue they run into a lot. So I took the sandals to the cobbler and he repaired them. Obviously I then paid that out of my own pocket, and then instead I added the ballerinas free of charge, or I paid like 4 francs. Amazing customer service. Just wanted to throw that in there because like when we hear stories like this, it's usually not the case, but they just, yeah, awesome. And these ballerinas are really nice, and I will give you an update when I've worn them a bit more or a lot more. But they really just make every outfit that I pair them with look so much more chic. Like it's really like a grown-up, mature, like sleek or chic look in like all the right ways. And the only time I've worn them, I literally got a compliment on them like leaving my door, so that's always a good sign. Then the next thing that I added is a small bunch of Danish brand Naja long-sleeved t-shirts. I bought one in white last year that I literally wore so much. I was really happy with it. The quality is so nice. If you're Danish watching this, you definitely know this top because I think they started making it in the 60s and it became like a recognized piece, and it's the exact same design to this day. So I decided to add it in a few other colors. I bought it in navy, which is more like a very deep king blue, I'd say, and then in Bordeaux, which is just so beautiful, and then I added like one white but short sleeved, so it's gonna be interesting to see if I wear that. And then I actually also bought it in like a dress version in black, like a fitted long sleeve dress. All of these together were just above $100, and it's just to add something more into the rotation of exactly what I wear now that I have a proof of concept that literally my outfit formula so much of the cold season of the year is like a fitted long sleeve crew neck or sweater, and then wanted to add a few more of these now that I had the chance. And now that we talked about what I've added, I thought I just wanted to share a little bit about other things that have been on my mind, other things in my wardrobe that I'm sort of just like giving some thought that I'm going through. Oh, first I want to mention that the ring, my antique ring, still the same. I won't be able to share any more details. I did get an update from the guy that I bought it from that he is just like so busy, and he is a friend of mine, so it's all good. And also it's not like it's urgent in any sense, so I told him like, just take your time, just 1,000 people on YouTube who hate you. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are so sweet and lenient with me anyway, all the time. First, some thoughts that I have thought about, like what I wanted to add to my wardrobe. One thing that I want to add is like a shearling coat or a shearling jacket, not too long. Going to the mountains a lot, I would always be wearing these shearling jackets that was already just laying around in the cabin, and I just really enjoy that look. So I'm going to look for my own secondhand. I actually already found one on Vestiaire, but Vestiaire is experiencing some legal issues right now with the shipment of fur, pearls, and a few other things, so I'm not able to buy it. So yeah, but that I'm definitely going to add. Not willing to at this point in my life spend a lot of money on that, so yeah, looking for that secondhand and have found a really reasonable option, so that I am going to add. It's a dark brown version, which is exactly what I want. Then I have been giving some thought about I said in one of my other wardrobe updates that I think that I'm ready to start adding brown as accessories like bags and shoes, and I've started to wonder if I should bring Cognac into, like camel, but you know, Cognac for leather, into my color scheme. I really like camel, or you know, so then Cognac for accessories. I think it can be so beautiful, and it can also go really well with a lot of cold colors like black and navy, and even oat actually also as well. But I've been giving it some thought over the past, like, I think probably 8 weeks, and I still haven't come to a conclusion because I think it is a really big step for, or it just feels like a really big step for me to add something warm into my wardrobe aside from gold, even if it is something that for some reason would work well with some of the pieces. I don't know, I'm just not ready, but I wanted to share it with you. So I think what I might do at some point is I might buy like a Cognac bag, but like a cheap one, like maybe literally just go to H&M, take it with me home, try it with a bunch of outfits, and then return it, and then assess whether that is something that I'm willing to take a chance on. And even then I'm still not gonna bring in something super high-end or expensive. Probably look for like a really nice secondhand option, but not of like the really branded kind. So wanted to share, but think that it is a really healthy sign that I have thought so much about it instead of just being like, oh, that's great, let's do it. If there's anything I've learned, it is that even with everything I've been assessing, everything I know, everything I've learned, I'm still able to make mistakes. So even with that, you know, so I don't want to rush into adding more to the criteria of what I like. And speaking of mistakes, I wanted to share something about my Ralph Lauren dress, because last wardrobe updates video we had, I was sort of like shamefully sharing that I never really got around to wearing it and that I was feeling really guilty about it, but didn't want to talk too much about it because I hadn't really given too much thought about why that is. And I recently went through like the Kibe process, basically figuring out your body type from this system called Kibe, which is created by this man in the 80s. Some of you guys might already be familiar with it. I will link to a video and then the website that helped me determine what type I am in the description below, so if you're interested in that. But basically it's these 13 body types, and then once you have determined your body type, there is going to be like some helpful information in like what suits you and what doesn't. And while I don't want to like use that information to just like religiously build my wardrobe on that system, it was still interesting to go through the process and see that the body type that I have, which is a soft dramatic, by the way, actually the things that I'm already drawn to, that I have a proof of concept that are working for me, are already kind of exactly what what he says suits that body type. One of the things that supposedly suits the body type that I have is in texture is more flowy fabrics. It can be heavy fabrics, but just fabrics with more movement. And I actually think that this is a major issue with the Ralph Lauren dress, is that it is such a stiff fabric. While the shape is really beautiful, it hugs me in all the right places, the fact that it doesn't really move as I move around, I think that that's kind of it. It could also be for a number of other reasons, like the pattern is not like my favorite and the blue could have been lighter, but just if nothing else, what I got out from like doing that body test is like the information that, you know, or like a confirmation of something that maybe was already in the back of my head, is that flowy fabrics is where it's at for me. Like weighted, but flowy fabrics are usually the ones, like the dresses that I have and stuff like that are the ones that I feel more beautiful in. So expensive mistake. I got quite a few comments from you guys saying that you thought it was really nice, and I agree, but it's too cottage core and too stiff for me, I believe. So it's probably going to leave at some point. Ugh, yeah. I'm not proud of that mistake, really not. Anyway, that was actually sort of everything that I had today for my updates video. I am so excited about doing these when it's fall, because I feel so much more in tune with what I'm adding. And yeah, just like I'm so excited about my clothing once it's like the cold seasons. As always, thanks so much for tuning in, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like so that I know it does help out my channel quite a bit. And if you're here for the first time and not already subscribed, then you should do that, because I would love to keep you around. Thanks for watching, and farewell!